right, what's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in. We've got another episode of Keepers that we're taking home for ourselves, or that we found out shopping and doing our own kind of vinyl digging while we're out and about. But I hope you liked the last one. We're going to try to keep doing these for a little bit, I think. So
I hope we keep keeping.
Yeah, I hope we keep keeping too. And you're a stacker, man. It's crazy. So let's just jump into it, I think.
Yeah, why don't you go first?
Time. All right, keeping with this 60s stuff, I can't help myself. I try to branch out, and I always find myself coming back to it. But this is Rain, self-titled. This is on Project 3, which is the same label as the Free Design. If you're at all familiar with the Free Design, this is kind of what it sounds like. Very, like...
open it up?
Oh, yeah, it is a gatefold. Just the band inside, kind of boring. But I love the cover on this. The rainbow font, but with, like, the streaking... I don't know, I love that cover. Very melodic pop, a lot of harmonies, but it's a little bit of fuzz guitar dotted here and there, but overall just kind of that 60s sunshiny pop. Kind of a tough one to find. This is like $115, $120. I think I paid like $70 for it on eBay, so kind of a little bit of a deal, cover. And it's super clean. But yeah, kind of a weird one.
Awesome. This is my starter. This is an 88 press.
Yeah, that's a cool one though.
And I didn't know this record, but it has Grant Green, Wynton Kelly, Paul Chambers, Philly Joe Jones. So this is just an 88 pressing of it, but man, I'm hoping the next video we do, I will have a much earlier copy of this.
Nice. Ooh.
Cross my fingers.
This is one that I recently upgraded through the store thanks to Brian's keen eye online. This is the Flower Traveling Band with the album Make Up. These guys are from Japan, kind of like Deep Purple meets Zeppelin kind of sounding stuff, like pretty heavy guitars, pretty heavy instrumentation. This album in particular, though, gets a little bit progressive.
Also,
and this version,
does it open up some kind of weird?
Yes,
like a little briefcase?
This version comes with the leather bag.
I like the little handle.
Yes, yeah, there is a little. I forgot about that.
By the handle.
Yeah, it's I'm kind of
like
afraid
Aldi's
to carry
grocery
it.
bag.
It is.
My wife's like, "Are you really gonna carry that by the handle?"
I had a version without the bag. The bag is the hardest part to find on this. And then
I kept it.
You've got my old copy, and I kept the bagged copy because I'm a record nerd.
This collection came in one day,
Yeah.
and it was totally wrecked. Everything was totally wrecked, but it was all stuff that would have been worth tons of money. These two records were from that, but it's one of those. It's like the saddest dream. Like, it's the dream pile of records. It's like 10 records, not very many. And you just start looking, you're like, holy cow, holy cow, holy cow. And the covers are pretty clean, but the records are shredded. This is a 59 US Lou Donaldson. This is probably now my favorite Lou Donaldson.
Nice.
It's, I think there's bongos or congas or whatever on it. It doesn't have organ on it.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord. And I don't know. It's just a lot more like what's good about Lou Donaldson. This Willis Jackson is pretty cool too. It's a 61. And it is, it's just like a very simple, like classic jazz stuff, but it's a great sounding. It's not a super valuable record, but this one is, if it was clean. Great.
All right, I'm getting out of the 60s vein. This came from the Metro East Record Show sometime last year. I mean, it's been a little while now, but this is the Smiths' Hatful of Hollow. You'll probably note this is not the usual cover. This is a UK second press with an alternate cover, which I bought it because it's like the last Smiths record I needed, and I've never come across a copy of Hatful of Hollow in person, so I bought this one. And I think now we have it. It was on the wall for a while, but we've got the one with like the traditional blue cover. But this is a UK pressing, same track listing, everything's the same on it, just a different cover, which is super cool. But this is a compilation. They came out with their self-titled debut and then very quickly issued this comp of like singles and some tracks from their debut that were done with like some John Peel sessions or like some BBC sessions, so you get some kind of like demo versions. But there's a bunch of tracks on here that have never been on a proper album, so this is the kind of the only way you can get some of those B-sides.
Okay, this is Underworld.
Yeah.
Dub no bass with my headman. I didn't have this
Rolls
one.
off the tongue.
Yeah. I don't know if you know Underworld, but it's like the 90s, like.
Yeah.
But it's. Oh, man. It's such a good version. It's like if that whole entire thing
Yeah.
had only been one band, this would have had to have been the one. Because,
That's cool.
I mean, it's honestly beautiful. And it's fun and like super freaking 90s. But
Yeah.
I don't know. It's up there with like Portishead and those bands
Yeah.
that like they were super 90s, and that it's kind of in that same. I mean, they're not trance music, but
Right.
and also like to be at a show where you're listening to this at like 200 decibels, and people are like, you know, have like bottles of water around their neck and they're I don't know whatever weird German people do when they dance. Yeah, that I just got that. That's a reissue, but it's a great. If you don't know Underworld, it's a fun listen.
This is the Replacements Hootenanny. This is an original copy. This came from the Metro East Record Show, the same
wow.
show I got that Smiths record. I think I got the Smiths from
I didn't know
Travis.
you got that.
But I went ahead and just ponied up for this because I love the Replacements, especially the earlier stuff. This is the album that came out right before Let It Be. This record is based off of a record from the 60s that was called Hootenanny. It was like a compilation of some folky kind of stuff. And the opening track is called Hootenanny, and it's very like banjo-y, folky, and so you're like,
Like
what
Mumford and
is
Sons,
this?
pretty much.
Kind of, yeah, kind of. And then it just kind of takes that left turn back into punk, and it's, I don't know, I love it, and this is like a mint copy of that.
All right, this is one that I have been trying to
Yeah.
Wah!
I haven't seen this yet.
It's a 70s Japanese pressing. I don't think
Dang.
this has really been repressed.
Not much.
I think that's one of the things that stinks. But I don't know if I know most people know what Kraftwerk sounds like, but the early Kraftwerk, if you watch videos of them, it's pretty like it's very weird, and it reminds me of some of the like instrumental shows that we'd go to when we lived in Nashville, like that were like Tortoise and those kind of bands. Kind of abrasive stuff in a way that still has this like prettiness to it.
That's super
especially
cool.
this record.
Yeah.
And then I actually got number 2 also. But it's a little harder to listen. It's a lot more noise and stuff like that. So.
This came from Dead Wax the last time we were there.
Oh, yeah.
This is Gene Clark, no other. Gene Clark was in the Byrds. This is his last solo album before he took a really long break. This is from like 73 or 74.
That back is awesome.
Isn't it kind of crazy? This is on Asylum Records. This is like cosmic country rock, like the definition of cosmic country. So there's some kind of weird trippy elements. It's got kind of like a little bit of the Laurel Canyon vibe running through it, but it's a little bit earlier than kind of the popularity of that really taking off. This was kind of like the blueprint of that scene.
Is it like JK and Company or something?
No, it's very much like, oh man, like Graham Parsons meets Tom Petty almost, like this weird mix of that.
Interesting.
Yeah, that's probably a decent description of this record, but it's got some really great songs on here. Silver Raven, the second track on here, is very, very good. Strength of Strings, like the production on this, like you can tell they spent money on it. But yeah, if the country rock thing is your vein, this is really one to check out. It's still kind of under the radar.
This is another upgrade.
Oh, jeez.
It's a 67 US. It might be a 61. It's really hard to tell. There's like one little
those
tick mark thing, but I can't tell what it is. But I mean, obviously, everyone knows this record. It's a great record. Paul Chambers again, my favorite.
Yeah.
Philly Joe Jones, Lee Morgan is on this.
There's a theme here, I think, of the kind of stuff you like.
I guess I like all the same people. It is weird in jazz how many records the same exact people, especially the Blue Note guys.
Yeah, I used to wonder that, like, I've never super got into jazz. I've got a few now, but it was like, you would hear people talk about it, and they would just mention the guys playing on it. It was like, why do you care? Like, what does it sound like? And it's like, oh, that's why
all the same people.
Well, it's like that's why it sounds like that because those guys are on it. All right, this is my last one. This one we have had in the store for a while, and I finally just took it home.
Nice.
This is Night Sun with the album Morning. These guys were from Germany. This is a Canadian pressing. Original German pressings are like crazy expensive, like $400 and $500. This is like $130, $140. But it's krautrocky, progressive, like very heavy guitar, but the lyrics, or not the lyrics, the vocalist is a little progressive sounding. Like the vocals are the one thing that I've always been like, I don't know if I like this, but the guitar on it's so cool. It was kind of like
German's
that Flower Traveler.
Do they
band.
sing in English? Or
They sing in English, yeah.
Thank the Lord. 'Cause
Yes.
German is a horrible sound singing language.
Yeah, for sure. But this is a cool record to have, and yeah, I finally just decided to. All right, I've played it enough in
Keep
the
it.
store. I'm keeping it.
We tried to make money.
We did.
Forget your soulless problem. Come on with me.
Donald Byrd, Fuego.
Nice.
This was like $300.
Oh my gosh.
It is actually. I bought this online and it came and it was close enough to the condition that it said it was.
Yeah.
But man, I don't
That's
know.
awesome.
This was just one of those ones. The song "Funky Mama" is again like that low jazz stuff, like the breakdown feeling stuff,
Yeah.
with bass solos, and I don't know. It's just what this is one of those records. You're like, this is what small group jazz, cool jazz, and bop jazz is supposed to sound like. Just good piano, good upright bass, good drums, like.
Yeah.
I don't know. And any Blue Note that's like hundreds of dollars is just kind of like, I guess I better keep it.
So you've got more coming, which means we got more of these coming. So hopefully we just keep the keepers rolling on. And like we said in the last video, if you've got records to trade or sell, we're always looking to buy, or we'll trade stuff, store credit, whatever. We want records, so bring them by. We would love to look at whatever you got. It doesn't have to be jazz, it doesn't have to be 60s, like anything. We will look at anything, so bring it by. Follow us on Facebook, follow us on Instagram, follow us here on YouTube.
Follow us down the street.
And down the street, and in our cars, and
Binoculars.
yeah, in our homes, and watch us sleep. All right, we'll see you next time.
Good night.